Guys, welcome back for another video. What we're going to be doing is we'll be looking over all of our NFL playoff games, trying to do the ESPN bracket predictor pigskin pick. I'm trying to get all the way to the Super Bowl, seeing who's going to win each round of the playoffs, all the way to the very end, who's going to be the Super Bowl champ for the 24 to 25 NFL football season. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond. Every week, we've gone over every single NFL game. We have the playoffs coming up. We have the wild card game coming up this weekend. We have complete breakdowns of those, and we also have every matchup for the college football season, including all the way up to the national championship. We also do the best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're looking at our ESPN bracket predictor. Obviously, for the AFC, we have the number one seed, the Kansas City Chiefs. We have the number one seed for the NFC, the Detroit Lions. They're both going to be on bye weeks this week. We have the playoffs kicking things off. There's going to be Saturday games, Sunday games, one Monday game. Let's go ahead and get started just running through these games, trying to get all the way to the Super Bowl. Obviously, the Chiefs on the bye. The very first round, we have the seed 4 Texans versus the 5th seed, the LA Chargers. With that one, we're going to be going with the LA Chargers here. Texans, they've been limping into the playoffs this season, haven't had the best final month of the season. Yes, they won their last game, but they're down Dell. They're down Diggs. They really got to get Stroud going. Stroud did not have the sophomore season like he had his freshman season last year, but obviously we know he's a solid quarterback. They have Nico Collins, a top 3 wide receiver when he's playing. They got to get some things right on the defense. They got to get some things right with their wide receiver core. Chargers, Herbert, J.K. Dobbins, Ladd McConkey, they should be healthy. It's a hardball team. They run the ball. They play defense. That defense alone, number 1 in the NFL, giving up 17.7 points per game. That should get them through this round. And then after that, this is going to be a really good game. This is the third matchup between these teams this season. Ravens won the second one. Steelers won the first one. Right now, the Ravens 3 seed, Steelers 6 seed. Right now, Russell Wilson, very conservative play calling. Tomlin, run the ball, play good defense. They have a defense, but they're kind of banged up right now. Expect a steady dose of Najee Harris. They have Pickens, but Pickens has to have a great game here. Russell Wilson has to get aggressive. They have to push the ball vertically down the field. But who wants to play the Baltimore Ravens right now? They have the number 1 rushing team in the NFL, running for 187.7 yards per game. They have the number 3 offense. Lamar Jackson putting up MVP caliber numbers for the third time right now. 41 passing touchdowns, only 4 picks. He also has 4 rushing touchdowns, 45 overall touchdowns. Derrick Henry, Flowers, Andrews, likely too many weapons, and they've gotten their defense going right now. We have the Ravens winning this one. They should be able to win it handedly. And then the 2 seed, the Bills versus the Broncos. The Broncos came into the playoffs, solid second half of the season. Really good season from Bo Nix. He was playing within Sean Payton's scheme. Dink and dunk, accurate passes, roll that pocket out, give him the option to be able to scramble, potentially scramble for the first down. They don't have a bad team. William Sutton, they have a solid defense. They have a top 4 defense overall in the NFL. When you have a defense that's playing up to that caliber, you can technically win any game. But the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, had he played that final game more than 1 snap, he could have potentially won the MVP this season. Probably not going to get it. Probably going to go to Lamar Jackson right now. But Josh Allen, his most efficient season so far. 41 overall touchdowns, pushing the ball down the field, 13 rushing touchdowns. They have Cook, they have Shakir, Coleman, Cooper, and they have the defense to back it up. I would not want to be playing them right now. We're going to go with the Bills taking this one. Looking at the other side for the NFC, for the wildcard games, obviously the Lions had the bye. Lions, number 1 offense in the NFL. They are rolling right now, very banged up on defense, but the more weeks they get to rest, the more potential defensive players they get to get back during the playoffs. Right now, we're going to have the number 4 Rams versus the 5 Vikings. The Vikings lost that final game to the Lions, but obviously, who wants to play the Vikings? They have a great offense. They have a great defense. They have a top 10 offense. They have a top 5 defense. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. They have Justin Jefferson, probably the best wide receiver in the NFL. Sam Darnold, 35 touchdowns, 12 picks. Great season so far. They can light it up here, but the Rams rested their entire starting offense. They are loaded when they are healthy on offense. They are healthy on offense right now. They have Stafford, Williams, Nakua, Atwell, Cooper Kupp, so many weapons. Any game could potentially turn into a shootout. They are built to get into shootouts. I could see the Rams potentially winning this one. I don't have any upset picks as of right now, wild card around, but if there was one, I can see the Rams winning this game. Vikings are that team. They have a really hot season, and every year in the playoffs, they lay an egg. Perhaps that ends this year. They can definitely get to the Super Bowl this season. I have them getting through this game, but this is a game you want to watch, a potential upset alert game where the Rams could potentially steal one. And then after that, we're going to have the 3 Buccaneers. Props to the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield picked things up right where he left off last year. 41 passing touchdowns, 15 picks. They have Irving. They have Mike Evans. I've been saying the whole season there's 3 things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, Mike Evans getting 1,000 yards. He got 1,000 yards for the 11th straight season, tying the record with Jerry Rice. Props to him. They did a lot of that without Chris Godwin. When Chris Godwin went down, he was leading the NFL in receptions. You would think losing him would hurt this offense. They're still averaging 29.5 points a game. They have a top 5 offense. Baker's slinging it up and down the field. They can score on anyone. Some question marks on defense, but they can score the ball. They're going to be playing, obviously, right now, the Washington Commanders, who also have a top 7 offense right now. Jaden Daniels, the rookie of the year so far, 31 total touchdowns, 25 passing, 6 rushing. He has almost 900 yards on the ground. He has a lot of yards through the air. They got to get the run game going, someone outside of Daniels. This is the rookie versus the more veteran quarterback. It's kind of hard to pick the rookie this game. I've waffled back and forth on this one. I could see the Bucs taking this one. Would not surprise me at all. This is another one. There's 2 potential upset games here. The Rams winning and the Bucs winning. I'm going to go with Washington winning this one as of right now, but if Tampa Bay if Tampa Bay steals this one, would not surprise me in any way because they have the offense. They are built to get into shootouts. Then the next one we're going to be looking at, we have the number 2 Eagles versus the 7 Packers. A lot of questions on if Jordan Love is going to be playing this game. As of right now, we'll just have to wait to see. Jacobs, one of the most underappreciated running backs in the country. They don't have a true wide receiver number 1, but when Love is healthy, when he keeps the turnovers down, they have the offense, they have the defense to potentially make a deep run here. But the Eagles, a lot of question marks about Hurts. As of right now, Hurts is set up to be playing. So we're going to be banking this off of Hurts playing. Saquon Barkley chose to rest that final game, gave up his chance to potentially break the total yardage record for one season. He'll be rested. They'll have Smith. They are loaded at the wide receiver position. Brown should have everyone back, and they have the number 3 overall defense in the NFL. They should be able to suffocate the Packers, try to control that run game, force them into 3rd and long situations, take that play action away from them. We have the Eagles winning this one. So we're now going to be moving on to our divisional round of the playoffs. The Chiefs, it's been a while since they played. This could potentially catch up with them for the AFC. The number 1 seed Chiefs versus the 5 Chargers. Chargers have that defense. Obviously, they are built to potentially compete with the Chiefs. Chiefs have been living off of their defense this season, creating havoc in the backfield, getting turnovers, giving their offense the short field. But when it's been this long since you've played, don't forget they also rested their A-team, their starters, in week 18 of the NFL season. That could potentially come back to bite them here. They could be rusty with a lot of time off. And obviously the Chargers with that defense, Herbert having a great season, 25 touchdowns, only 3 picks so far. They can run the ball. They play defense, but the Chiefs are built for the playoffs. They have the defense. They have the veteran offense. They are fully healthy on offense right now. Patrick Mahomes has had some time to heal. We have the Chiefs winning this one. I think this game is going to be really, really close, though. So we have the Chiefs moving on to the conference championship round. And then the Bills versus the Ravens. This might be the best game of the playoffs entirely. This is a Super Bowl type game. They're just in the same conference, but we have the Bills, Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. One of these guys is going to win the MVP this season. Whoever wins this game, people are going to be saying, that's the guy that should have won the MVP. That's not the case, but that's just the way that things turn out with the fans. There's going to be some points here. There's going to be some defensive stomps, but this is going to be a high-scoring shoot-'em-out game. Will go down to the 4th quarter, could potentially go down to whoever has the ball last, or the untimely turnover. A lot of people give Lamar Jackson flack for not winning the big game in the playoffs. That's not the case. He's still a young quarterback. He has put up great stats here. He has the better team right now. Bills probably have the better defense, but the Ravens defense playing really good football the last month. We already went over all of their weapons, and they have Lamar Jackson. Video game numbers the entire season, but I'm going to go with the Bills winning this one, setting us up for a Chiefs-Bills matchup. But this is one of those games, it's 50-50. It's going to be a pick-'em. I don't want to go anywhere near it betting-wise. It's going to be one of the best games of the year. Jumping over to the NFC for the divisional round, we have the Lions versus the Commanders. We're going to go with the Lions taking wins. The Lions are built to make it to the Super Bowl. Someone has to stop them. Yes, the defense has shown a lot of holes the last few weeks, a lot of injuries, but they are loaded. Gibbs, Goff, 40 touchdowns, letting things up, picking things up where he left off last season. St. Brown, so many weapons, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and they should be getting some weapons back throughout the playoffs on offense, on defense. We have the Lions winning this one. It's too much to ask me for a rookie quarterback to go too deep in the playoffs. And then we have the Eagles, Vikings. This is a really good game. The Eagles, though, as long as Hurts is healthy, they have the defense. Vikings have the defense as well. But to me, at some point, the Vikings run just has to end this season. Darno, with that suffocating defense, potentially trying to get a lot of pressure on Darno, force him into some errant throws, potentially force him into some turnovers. We have the Eagles and the running game, the ground and pound over 4 quarters. That's what makes the difference. We have the Eagles winning this one, setting us up for an NFC conference matchup of the number 1 Eagles versus the number 1 Lions versus the number 2 Eagles. So jumping back over to the AFC, the number 1 Chiefs versus the 2 Bills. So things set up with the number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed. Sometimes that's just the way it works out. There's not always upsets potentially, but right now, obviously we know the Bills beat the Chiefs early this season. The Chiefs have been the Achilles heel in the Bills for years. Josh Allen could have potentially had a Super Bowl victory, a lot of great seasons, but he has not been able to get through the Chiefs in the playoffs. Yes, they've been able to split the regular season, but it's been the playoffs where the run has ended. This is the most complete Bills team to me, but you are going up against the defending Super Bowl champs right now, 23-24 champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, with all of that experience, with Andy Reid calling plays, with that defense. You have the defense to match them. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Josh Allen. He had the pressure on him during the regular season. He had that run in the fourth quarter, clinched the game. Can he do that again back-to-back? We have the Bills winning this one. I'm just going to call it what it is. Might be a bit of an upset here, but we have the Bills beating the Chiefs. The Bills finally make it to the Super Bowl. Can they get back to the Jim Kelly era? Can they get that first Super Bowl victory? Then on the other side, we have the number 1 Lions versus the number 2 Eagles. It is going to be a game that scares the hell out of me. It's 2 teams that can score, 2 top 5 offenses. Eagles have the edge on defense. Lions, when they had a fully healthy defense, they had a top 5 defense. It's kind of dropped a little bit below that, but it's still a top 10 defense. I would not want to play them. They have the number 1 offense. Can Goff step up in the big time, deliver this team back to the Super Bowl? We know he's lost the Super Bowl before, but there is a lot of talent on this squad. Things have been setting up the season like it may potentially be the Lions' year this year. But Hurts and team, what was the Achilles heel for the Eagles last season was turnover second half. Doom this team. They've been able to keep the turnovers down this season, mainly because they're playing time of possession football, running the ball, keeping the ball out of the air. When they need to throw, they can throw. They have the weapons at wide receiver. They have the weapons at tight end, but it's been the ground game that's been dominating. Can the Lions suffocate that ground game, keep the game close, 1 possession game, have the ball last, clinch it? We have the Lions winning this one, getting to the Super Bowl. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? This is a fun matchup. 2 teams that haven't been here in a while. Who can clinch it, get that Super Bowl victory? The number 2 Bills versus the number 1 Detroit Lions. This is going to be one of the more fun Super Bowls in recent history, because to me, this is going to be a offensively dominated game. There's going to be 2 great defenses here, but it's going to be the offenses that are going to shine. It's going to be Josh Allen versus Goff. I've waffled back and forth of who I think can win this game. I really want the Bills to finally get over that edge, get that Super Bowl. Watching what happened to them in those Jim Kelly teams wants me to get a Super Bowl for them so bad. For their fans, they've been so loyal, but it's also the same thing for the Lions. The city of Detroit, the city of Buffalo, they both want this Super Bowl. They've both earned it. It's been a long time waiting. Who's going to get it? I'm going to go with the Lions winning the Super Bowl here. Confidence in that is very low. This game's practically a 50-50 pick. I would honestly be happy with whichever of these teams wins this one. I'd be perfectly happy for them, happy for their fans. I'm an unbiased fan here. If I had to pick total points, I think it's going to be a shoot 'em out game. I'd say like a 34-31. So that would put us at 65 total points. That's what I'm going to go with. That's what I'm going to be submitting here. But I have the Lions beating the Bills in the Super Bowl, giving the NFC the Super Bowl championship. But it could potentially be the Bills out of the AFC. I'd be happy with either one of them. No matter what, we as fans are going to have a fun Super Bowl to watch. So that's just a quick rundown of our ESPN bracket predictor. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond. Thank you.